Hello, hello. Oh, baby! Thank you! And I beat Frank.
I already gave you permission. What? You have to let a brother know.
Hit that
That's not
shit, kid.
true. In Texas, it's a single party consent state as far as audio recordings. I'm not sure about video recordings. I imagine it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a completely inappropriate podcast, everybody. I'm Anthony along with Mr.
Frank.
Mr. Frank. Are you ever going to act enthused to be on the show?
This is me enthusiastic. God damn.
This is why you're single.
Okay.
So what's up, man? What you been up to?
Oh, nothing much. What happened in my life? I'm
I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me?
not asking you. I'm asking myself out
It
loud.
was definitely a question.
Yes.
Out loud on a podcast, it makes sense in theory,
Mhm.
but if it's your own thought, just come out with the answer. What speak, doggy, speak. What you got? What did you do?
Wow, nothing really. Like
Oh,
my life
Jesus
sucks.
Christ, you brought it up just to say that your
You
life-
brought it up. I'm like, what did I do with my life this week?
That's okay. I canceled everything. I'm getting a little disappointed with my yogi stuff.
Mhm.
Didn't have anybody show up on Monday, so like, fuck you guys. I just canceled for the rest of the week. Not
Well-
entirely how that went. I mean, okay, so nobody showed up, but then the owners of the location were out there, or not the owners, but the management of the location were out there replanting a bunch of flowers and plants that they had because the recent freeze that happened killed all the foliage.
Yeah.
So they were taking advantage of the stimulus check and replanting there. So we ended up spending a couple hours doing that, just digging holes and clearing out weeds and shit. And then I was supposed to go the next day, but they ended up not going till the following day. And the following day I had shit to do. And then I was supposed to go Friday. I ended up crapping out then just because I was lazy. So it's been I don't know, man. I've been in kind of a funk. I've lost a lot of my mojo the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't bother asking why you're trying to continue the conversation.
No,
or-
I'm thinking
How are you,
because
Yeah,
like
no, please take as much time with dead air that you need to think about it. Not like we're recording this and trying to keep things entertaining.
no, because like I'm thinking, yeah, well, it's gonna be a phase. Like, your audience is gonna die out, then you're gonna pick up again in the spring. I'm like, well, it already is spring. I don't know. Give it a few weeks. It'll pick up again, especially since it's free.
I don't know. Well, that's what I thought. I figured making it free would make it make everything easier to grow, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
Then again, I still haven't gone to pass out like these flyers that I printed out. Like I got these little business cards, but the business cards, like, they're way too small.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see the lettering on them.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're cute.
Well, when my buddy opened up his gym, or leading up to the opening of his gym, he had some of us hand out flyers in the nearby neighborhoods. So not hand them out, but stick them on the door. So maybe you can do that.
Well, why don't you come by on Monday and pick up all the flyers, and I'll pay you $100 to drive around and just put them in mailboxes and shit.
I have an appointment on Monday, so.
You always see everybody's always too busy to help me out.
Oh, I can do Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
All emo kid.
Mhm.
Actually, we're lucky. The one student that I have that shows up every day, every time, she's a marketing major. So I'm going to hire her to do some of the marketing for it.
Okay.
She's going to start a second Facebook, business-oriented Facebook. So that doesn't have like just a bunch of my friends on it.
Yeah, because my father was telling me, he's always telling me that he wants to start a business, but every week it's a different business. And I was thinking of,
Anything good? Does he ever come up with anything good?
well, he comes up with old school ways of making business, and I guess it's a boomer thing
Okay.
that nowadays everything is done through your phone. And
Sure.
yeah, and much like me, he'd rather do things in person, but he takes it up a notch because he's from back then. And yeah, so I was thinking,
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
forgot to hit record. Yeah, you're gonna have to send me the audio file again. Sorry to interrupt, but why are you laughing? It's not that funny. All right.
so then what happened? Yeah, so I was thinking, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna,
Wait, what was it about your dad?
yeah, he wanted to start a business. He always wants to start a business, but
He doesn't want to do it on the phone.
no, well, yeah, he still thinks, shit works the same way it did back in his time. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, well, when he does start whatever business he wants to start, like, I'm gonna have to start a Facebook page. I'm gonna have to fucking send it out to my friends and have them send it out to two friends, and then hire the make a wrap to wrap around at least my car, so that every time
I
I
know.
take it.
I want to do that too. I don't want to get a wrap, but one of those like a big magnet. But I need to design a proper sign for myself. I don't have a sign for my Yo Garza yoga.
Right. Well, yeah, just I don't know. You can probably get what's her name, Ariel, the South African designer, to design you something, and then
I had hit her up and she kind of blew me off a couple times. Like,
huh.
of course, the time change is a big factor there. When we're asleep, they're awake, and vice versa. So,
Hmm.
sorry, I got distracted because I see the Temptations behind you. I was like, oh, I'm tempted to talk about the Temptations, and then I started thinking in my head, I know you want to leave me, and everything just went to hell. And my whole conversation, I got those little, a touch of the ADD, just a
Yeah.
touch, just a touch.
Hmm. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe she's busy. I don't know. What you could do is take a picture of yourself,
Well, I've
and
got
have your
plenty of those. I've been keeping up on the Instagram pretty well. I took a little bit of a break on that and the yoga itself. I pretty much took a break on everything this week, except for work. I ended up working a shitload. Like Friday, I ended up going after work at the factory to the custom boot shop over in Westlaco. And I worked there till like 9 o'clock at night. Got home at 9:30 or so. And then I did the same thing the next day because I got behind work at the factory, so I had to go in and go fix some shit there. I was there for 4 hours, and then from there I went straight back to Westlaco because I still needed to finish work there up until like 5 or 6 o'clock yesterday. So it's been a busy ass fucking time. I was supposed to, I had taken time off of the yoga and shit so that I could recharge and catch my breath, but ended up throwing that attention and energy somewhere else anyway.
Mhm.
But what can you do? That's the way life goes sometimes, I suppose.
Yeah, sometimes. So, anyways, what I was telling you is you can get your face right next to your logo, and then have that be a wrap, and then wrap it on your car.
I just
And
don't think my face sells.
well, they need to put a face to the name, you know.
No, that's what the logo's for. They need a logo for the name.
I don't know, but yeah, your name, your face, the logo, and the phone number will reach you. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I did forget to put my phone number on here.
You can always write it in the back.
Well, it's got my Facebook, my email, and my Instagram.
Hmm.
Really all anybody needs nowadays. Nobody needs my phone number.
Yeah. Well, some people are old school and would rather call you, like me with customer service. Every time I have something going on with something, whether it be technology or the fucking bank, like I have to call customer service. I have to talk to somebody, not some fucking apparatus. And it pisses me off because like I was a what's it called? Um called Xbox
You are
ambassador. I was an Xbox ambassador for a while, and I thought I was gonna get paid to play video games. And it turns out all an Xbox ambassador is free tech support for Microsoft. And I'm like,
They got you good.
and I'm like, really? Like, you get me out of all people to do tech support. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this.
That's fucking adorable. Well, to be fair, tech support is just like they give you a list of problems and then you just read a script.
Well, the good thing is that I got to choose which tech support problem to help on. But yeah, the only ones I could help on were the easy ones. Like, oh yeah, just fucking restart your system, do a hard reset. What else? Unplug it and plug it back in.
What did you say to me, boy?
Yeah.
So did you take any of those calls? Did you end up taking the job at all?
No, because what it is that there's a page, what's it called, like a chat room kind of, and people submit their tech questions, and then you respond to them. So yeah, I wasn't too useful in that department.
Jesus Christ, you're not too useful for a lot of things. Anyway, man, what did you have? This dude, this is the longest intro ever. Get to the goddamn subject already. What are we talking about today?
Okay. Well, have you, I know the answer to this, but I have to ask you, have you seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet?
No, I didn't even know it was out. Is that another one of those that's just on HBO? No,
this is Disney Plus.
Oh, that one's out on Disney Plus. Is it a show or is it a movie?
It's a show, and they were saying that each episode is a 1 hour mini Marvel movie, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, so it's a series? Like, no, it's a mini Marvel movie that takes up about an hour. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that means
that's
that
a series.
Unless is there a resolution and a you know what I mean? Is there a full story arc from beginning to end within the hour? Because then I could sort of justify them calling it that.
Yeah, well, the first episode,
it's just a fucking series. It's just a show.
Yeah. The first episode ended up on a cliffhanger. So, well, not much of a cliffhanger, but more like, you see, like a revelation.
Then that's just a TV show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just a long form television show.
Yeah, but you got to make it sell. So they're like, oh yeah, it's a mini Marvel movie, because they were saying, they were explaining how different it was going to be from. Yeah, they're explaining how it's going to be different from WandaVision, and they're like, well, this is going to be a mini Marvel movie instead of some, sitcom. And I'm like, I guess. Yeah.
How did you feel about WandaVision after all? What was your overall feelings on that? We talked a lot about it, but I don't think we ever got to how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's not entirely the comic book WandaVision. It takes bits from here and there, which is fine.
That's all of Marvel. That's all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, so I'm like,
and DC movies, it's all movies. They if they did it exactly like the comic books, there'd be no surprises.
Well, because Steven Spielberg said when interviewed about Jurassic Park, he said that it needs to be an inch from the book. So I'm like, yeah, deviate a little bit, but no, they like to mix and match. Yeah,
I like that. It's got to be an inch from the book.
Yeah,
sounds sexy.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess I liked it, but they were saying that there's going to be a season 2 and season 3, and I'm like, well, I wonder how they're going to do that, because the whole point was, her going through the 5 stages of grief and having her own little reality. So
yeah, I do wonder what's going to happen next now that things have changed.
Well, this was supposed to come out before 9 weeks before Doctor Strange 2. That's why it ended the way it did.
Is that coming out after all?
Yes, but
it's going to be a straight to DVD release, like straight to.
Well, Disney wants to release their movies in theaters, they want to at least make their money back, the money they spent, their budget. And I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense to keep the movies locked up because you're bleeding chips, by not releasing it. So they want
What is bleeding chips?
bleeding chips. Like it's costing you more money to not release it.
Where did that phrase come from, though? Is that like a deep cut gambling thing or what?
Yeah, it's a poker reference.
That is such a strange way to put it. Bleeding chips. Cool. Okay. Sorry, I get caught up on words sometimes.
Yeah, but what else happened?
So yeah, they're leaving money on the table by not releasing these things, but in the end, it could be years before we open back up fully, and who knows if movie theaters are ever going to fill up again the way that they were. I know a lot of people are talking about it, like, I really miss, one of the things I miss most is going to movie theaters. They're like, do you really? I mean, you can still go now. You can rent them out for like a showing, right? Like for like $100 a theater. Like if you get 5 friends, you're already under $25 a person. You're already making your money back practically if you get, a party of 10 to go to the movies.
Yeah. But what happened?
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, but people don't want to.
BYOB to if it were BYOB to rent a fucking movie theater for a movie showing, that'd be fucking killer, dude.
Well,
like just post up, get rowdy, do Rocky Horror Picture Show or something.
Yeah, the Cinemark in Far, they have their own bar.
True. Yeah. Well, that's one of those draft house movie theaters.
Yeah. So there's that. But I don't know. People don't want to risk getting sick, and there's new strands coming out. And so it's looking like by September we're gonna go back on lockdown because Italy and France went back to lockdown.
But we're all getting our vaccines, Frank. Hey, you haven't looked into getting it? You don't get it being part of the military?
Yeah, my doctor at the VA said I just have to call and be like, hey, I want to take the vaccine. But I'm like, no, I don't want to take it.
No, I don't want to.
No, I don't want to take it. Cause what's the fucking point if I'm still gonna get the Rona?
No, well, it's just to lift restrictions, and it's gonna end up being we're all gonna have to wear our little yellow stars over our chest to let everybody know we're numbered now. We've got our chips. We've got our mic. Whatever they're saying now.
Yeah. What happened?
It's like the government doesn't need to inject you with a microchip. You spend $1,000 and $112 a month on yours. It's called your cell phone. Try leaving your house without it and watch yourself freak out. It's not the government freaking out when you forget your cell phone. It's you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a thing that if you have any side effects, you can't sue the company or the government, and the government's not gonna recompense, I want to say, but no, that's not the word. They're not going to give you a settlement over it. And one of the latest symptoms that has come out is blood clot. And I'm like,
yay.
I'm like, yeah, that's not fun. I don't want to do that.
Drink more alcohol.
So
thin the blood out, you'll be all right.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna take that shit. At least not now.
Well, they're offering it to me for free through it. Well, I guess it's free for everybody, right? Like nobody's charging for this shit. But I'm getting it through my work apparently within the next week or two, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If it can't hurt, I got my mom and my grandmother already went to go get it, and my other grandmother went to go get it last week. They all still need to get their second shot though.
Yeah, there's talks about them doing the government knocking on doors to get everyone vaccinated. That if it has to lead to that, then they're gonna go ahead and do that.
Well, that's fine if they want to knock on doors, but what are they gonna? They can't hold you down and force you to get a shot.
Well, that's what they did in China.
Yeah, this isn't China, douchebag. Go ahead and try. If that's a good way to start a fucking uprising.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Well, shit.
Yeah. So, anyways, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I could have sworn there was a major continuity error in it, but I went into IMDb and I'm like, oh, never mind then.
Is it much of a spoiler? Would it be showing too much of the cards if you tell us more about that?
Well, I think so. I think so. But I can say that the there was an Asian guy in the Howling Commandos, the Captain America's team in the first Captain America back in World War, was it two? There's an Asian guy, and that actor was cast as the principal in Homecoming, and the director realized that. He's like, "Oh shit, this is the same actor from fucking over there." So he got a picture from that movie, a black and white picture of the character from that movie, and he put it into the principal's office, and he's saying, "Yeah, that's his grandson, because it skips a generation where you look exactly like your grandfather."
Okay.
Yeah, so that's his fixing of it, but that's about as far as I can go without spoiling the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So
Okay. Yeah, that was not satisfying at all. So I'll have to check it out.
yeah,
I wasn't aware that it was out yet. That's the weird thing. I feel maybe because all I watch is like Netflix and Hulu nowadays, and occasionally Amazon Prime. I've got Prime. I never fucking use it. Um, I keep forgetting that I have it, to be honest with you. I still never went back to watch The Boys. That's the one I really wanted to get into. And The Tick as well. I don't think I ever got past halfway through season 2. So
yeah.
good.
Well, you should get into the boys. Like watch the boys so we can talk about it.
Well, did you ever watch Brightburn? The
Yeah, I
movie?
did. Yeah,
Yeah. What'd you think of that one?
I think it was a more
Real quick,
realistic approach
real
to.
quick. You want to explain what it was about, or you want me to?
Oh well, so Brightburn, what it was is James Gunn. I want to say, but apparently he was just one of the producers, but he's the one getting the credit. James Gunn asked the question, what would happen if Superman, um, was a dick, basically. Like, what if psychologically he was
What if
a
he
prince?
actually, what if he had more human instincts, right? More of a
Yeah,
human
lashed out
attitude.
against. What if he lashed out against his parents because they lied to him his whole life?
Yeah,
Essentially
it
that.
was always strange how like wholesome that Superman actually ended up being, because obviously it wasn't everybody from his planet that was, had this overwhelming sense of morality instilled in him,
Mhm.
because evil shit still happened. And so yeah, this movie Brightburn explores the idea that, well, what if he didn't have that overwhelming sense of morality and overwhelming need to do to uphold justice,
Yeah.
and it is dark. It's basically the Jesus theory, right? Like what happened to Jesus between the age of as a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they say in what is it? The book of
Enoch?
Is it the
No.
book of Enoch? I know there's a couple. Well, there's a couple different ones. I was this book of Timothy or something was what I was going for, but I can't remember. Something with
Hmm.
a T, maybe. The
I don't
book of
know.
Terence.
I don't know. But
Anyway, yeah, where they talk about like Jesus being a kid and he brings to life a couple clay birds. Like he molds some little little Tweety birds out of the mud, out of the earth, and then he breathes life into him and sets him to go. And they call Joseph and they're like, Joseph, your son is working on it's the Sabbath, it's Sunday, he shouldn't be doing these things. And he comes to Jesus, he's like, son, you shouldn't be working on the Sabbath. I was like, who are you to tell me not to do these things on any given day? You are not my father. My father is in heaven. Blah blah blah. And I think at some point he basically threatens Joseph. But yeah, yeah, it's the same idea. It's that what if these perfect representations of what we're supposed to be and amount to and strive for, what if they were just as fucked up as we are? What if they were
Yeah.
just human fucking beings, not to be put on a pedestal, just put in these remarkable positions? So
Yeah.
it's a fun
So
thought experiment.
yeah, I find it to be more grounding, more realistic. Because like,
Well,
what?
of course, it's
You
more
lied
human.
to me this whole time. Yeah,
Who lied to you this whole time? What do you mean?
but no, yeah, because he grows up where he has two parents. It's his mom and his dad, right? And then suddenly he goes through puberty and he's like, "What the fuck is happening with me?" And then the parents are like, "Okay, well, the truth is you weren't technically adopted, but you kind of were. You're an alien from outer space."
I never understand their choice to not tell the kid either. Like, dude, just tell the kid. I don't know, man. I'm an overly honest person though. Oftentimes it gets me in a lot of trouble
Yeah.
in some situations. But how you gonna lie to your kid, man?
Well, the
Or what?
idea is to tell him when he's ready,
Well,
when
how do
he'll.
you feel? Is it lying or is it just withholding information? And is there a difference?
There's just withholding information. Like there's lying by omission, and I'm like, no, no, because it's just, oh, I forgot to tell you. But in this case, it was like, we were gonna tell you, but when you were ready to hear the truth, when you could, take it in a healthy way, not, when you're immature about it and can lash out, because we still don't know what exactly you can do. So yeah.
Well, anyway, what else? So what else is on the docket, man? We've gone through the Snyder cut.
No, we haven't even touched the Snyder Cut yet.
We haven't touched on it yet. I thought that.
No. But yeah,
So what is the Snyder cut exactly?
the Snyder Cut.
You think it was like a 4 hour fucking what the fuck? Like, first of all, you couldn't get me to fucking watch a rock concert for 4 hours. If it goes past 3, I'm fucking itching to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's openers to finishers, man, to headliners. I'm in and out.
Yeah, so what it is that, because what happened was that Zack Snyder was doing the Justice League, and then his daughter or his stepdaughter committed suicide. So then he had.
What? Say that again?
Yeah, his daughter committed suicide.
Damn.
So yeah, so
In
he
real
had.
life?
Yeah, so he had to leave the project.
Is this real life?
Yeah, so he had to leave the project, but I think he could have left it temporarily. Maybe he did. Maybe it was like, well, for now, I gotta step away from this. Give me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the studio was like, well,
Yeah,
fuck
Hollywood
that.
might not have wanted to stay. This is all conjecture, not like we know, but
Yeah, but yeah, so they hired Joss Whedon because Avengers made $1 billion. So,
sure.
so
You
yeah,
go with
let's get
success.
the guy behind that. And so DC fans are saying that Joss Whedon purposely sabotaged the Justice
Oh,
League.
come on.
Yeah, because he's Team Marvel.
Nobody
like,
would do that. That is such a batshit crazy thing. That is such an arrogant fucking thought. Like, I want my work as an artist and as a producer to be second guessed for the rest of time because of my loyalty to a brand I had nothing to do creating. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. The world is broken. It's all falling apart.
Yeah, because DC fanboys think that DC is the greatest thing ever, and I know as soon as I get into the Snyder Cut, like the actual movie, I know the listeners that are DC fanboys are gonna be saying, "Oh well, it was too smart for you." I'm like, no, come on.
Well, I like the movies. I don't like them stylistically. I like the over the top, real colorful kind of shit. I don't like the real loud, like Transformers style fucking DC real dark images. Like, I like it. I like that in print. I like comic books, stills. I don't like the. I don't know. I just don't like them visually, cinematically.
Yeah, because it's too
Um,
much in your face junk. That's what it is. It's just loud noises.
well, and it's hard to see. Everything's so dark. Like I'm like squinting, like I'm actually in the dark. Like, come on, I'm in a movie theater. The room's already dark enough. Brighten up the screen a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one complaint that it was too colorful. I'm like,
Too colorful.
really? Yeah,
Wait, which one was too colorful?
Joss Whedon's version of the Justice League was too colorful.
Oh, well, that's why I liked it though, because it really was a little bit more Marvel-esque, really more comic book, like just bright. Like
Yeah,
it's if it's not, I get that Batman is oftentimes dark because he is a nighttime fucking superhero. But Superman, Wonder Woman, they're daytime fucking heroes, man.
yeah,
Like they're not, neither of them are in a costume. They are who they are when they're
yeah,
out there. So they can be out there in normal, like nothing is dark for them. They live their lives. They're not in secret, you know? So like Daredevil and fucking like certain DC characters, I get it because they modded those characters around a night theme, you know?
yeah.
But I mean, even Spider-Man. Spider-Man is fucking red and blue, the most ostentatious fucking colors you can get. Uh, just swinging through night and day. You know what I mean? You're always going to catch him, which is probably why he's one of my favorites because he's just pow, real bright character, real witty, funny, stupid, geeky, like just like, you know, people we know.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So then, DC fanboys weren't too happy with it, and then when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, um, they had the bright idea of giving the fans what they wanted. So they went ahead and they paid for Joss Whedon, for Zack Snyder to make his version of the Justice League. And so Zack Snyder took advantage. And it's like, no fucking deleted scene. No scene's gonna get deleted. We're gonna have the full 4 hours and 2 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, oh my.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's what
But
they
if
were
you're gonna
thinking.
do that, why not split it up into two? You know, just give people time to sit and enjoy. Because when you have, for some reason, if you give me two separate movies to watch, I could divide that up into 2 hour splits. But you give me a 4 hour movie, I might try and get through the whole 4 hours and end up missing out. Like, oh, you know what? I'll save the ending for tomorrow when I wake up, or you know, by the end of work day tomorrow. And then it sits there for like fucking months. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, it's only 30 minutes. It's one of those weird things. You got, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. I don't know about a 4 hour movie, man.
that's what they did with Endgame. They were like, wow, this is gonna have to be split into two because it's just, um, yeah, it's too much. 4 hours, come on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, not, especially if your end game is to fucking sell theater tickets. Like, how are you going to
yeah,
get people to sit for 4 hours in a movie theater? Like,
you just can't.
that's not even conducive to fucking the theater making any money because you don't have turnaround for an entire, you know, second movie, basically.
Yeah, yeah, because the theater won't have enough time slots to make enough money out of it. But yeah, so then Zack Snyder went ahead and the movie wasn't what I expected, because what I expected was for Zack Snyder to see what worked and make a completely different movie.
All right, so but this was on HBO Max, right? So
HBO
this
Max.
wasn't a theater
Yeah, this
release.
is HBO Max. They were gonna release it into 7 episodic fucking mini movies.
Episodic.
Yeah, but I guess they said fuck it. They condensed it together, and we got a 4 hour
Well,
movie.
that's interesting. I like that they did something different with it. I'd like to check it out. I don't think I have HBO Max though.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I know that I don't, so I'm gonna have to borrow your login shit.
okay. So
But after I watch the Winter Soldier and Falcon shit.
okay. So
Oh, Yeah. Okay. Are we done with the Snyder Cut? Because I wanted to talk a little more about the Winter Soldier.
Okay, then let's go with that then.
Well, I just want to know what you think about it. Like, how are you enjoying it? It's only
Well,
one episode out right now.
yeah, it's only one episode, so
How was
I'm
the
like,
setup?
it picked up after uh you know after Endgame, where Sam is still on the fence about being Captain America.
Oh, so they're still talking about it openly. Okay, I don't know why I expected that to be a conversation for later in the series.
Yeah, well, no.
So what do you think? Is Sam gonna end up being the Winter Soldier, or is it gonna be Buddy?
Oh, I think it should be Bucky because
Bucky. I said Buddy, right?
yeah, well, he is his buddy. So
Hey, buddy. Hey,
I
buddy. You
yeah,
should do this, man.
I think it should be Bucky because
He's white. Yeah, of course.
yeah, because in the
What?
comics,
You can't have
Steve.
a black Captain America.
No,
This
you
isn't.
can.
This
I'm
isn't
just saying.
2021.
I'm just saying.
This is the 1918s. Damn it.
No,
1920s.
I'm saying they were foreshadowing throughout the entire trilogy that Bucky was going to be the next Captain America.
When did they do that? I disagree.
Yeah, in the train scene where Bucky picked up Cap's shield and that little music was playing. I was like,
He picks up Cap's shield. How's he able
yeah,
to do that?
like this.
Oh wait, no. I'm an idiot. I was thinking like Thor's hammer. Like, wait, someone else picked up the shield. Like, wait, no, everybody could pick up the shield.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Yeah, that's not that big a deal.
in the Winter Soldier, how Cap threw his shield and then Bucky caught it, and then the scene before that is where Bucky practically rips the fucking shield from Cap and he's wearing it.
I would have rather liked to have seen the Iron Soldier or the Iron. What's his name?
The Winter
Iron
Soldier,
Man. No, Iron Man's buddy.
War Machine.
War Machine. I would have liked to see War Machine become the Captain America War Machine.
Well, the Punisher becomes War Machine, and the Punisher does become Captain America at one point.
Wow.
Well, not Captain America. He changes his name to Corporal Punishment because he
That
kills
seems
and Cap
real
doesn't.
stupid. That sounds like a terrible spinoff. I'm happy I wasn't around for that. Well, what else do we got? I'm running out of conversation here.
Okay, well,
Whew.
we got that Zack Snyder's words were misconstrued because where are we? Zack Snyder went ahead.
Well, I'm in my apartment. You're at your
Yeah.
parents' house.
Yeah, so Zack Snyder appeared on a live stream for charity for suicidal prevention.
Suicide awareness.
Prevention. Apparently, there's a difference.
We're all aware of suicide. Not all of us want to prevent it. Bless you.
Shit!
Salute. Jesus Christ. Frank is having a panic attack of some sort over there. Oh, here I thought his lighting in his place was making him washed out, but no, he's just so pale. Like now he's coughing. He looks like almost like he's got natural color to him.
Right. So, anyways, so he appeared on
Wait,
a live
what
stream.
You can't just do that and not explain. What the hell just happened to you? What
What?
the hell kind of attack was that you
I
just
have
had? It's still going,
I don't know.
and you just want to pretend like it's not even happening.
No, I had kind of like this tingle in my fucking nose hair, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I started sneezing.
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What were we talking about before you so rudely interrupted?
Yeah, so Zack Snyder appeared on a live stream, a charity event for Geeks and Gamers. So the idea was for them to, team up, and raise as much money as they could because again, Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide. So this is something, near and dear to him.
Why? What did he do?
What do you mean? What did he do?
I don't know. Why did his daughter commit suicide?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, I just assumed most of the time when you bring things up on the podcast, it gets really dark, and there's no saving it with humor. So I just assumed it was going to go towards like Well, we've already got a suicide. Why did she kill herself? What did the dad do to her? Go ahead, Frank. Tell us.
Oh, well,
Too dark? Is that
I
too
did.
too much of it? I thought it was just a natural inclination towards that kind of news line that you like to follow.
I did omit an entire story that I knew you weren't going to want to talk about. But anyways,
well, thank you. We'll touch on it next episode. Are we done with this one yet?
I haven't even told you about fucking Zack Snyder and his charity event.
Do we have time? Is what I'm wondering.
Yes, we got about 20 minutes.
All right, go ahead. 20 minutes?
Yeah.
No, we've been doing this longer than that.
Uh-huh.
All right, continue.
Anyways, this is real quick. Anyways, so yeah, there's a charity event for Geeks and Gamers, and the thing with Geeks and Gamers, we follow Geeks and Gamers. The thing with that is that they are very open about not being too happy about what Kathleen Kennedy's doing to Star Wars. And so because of that, people have branded them a hate group. So then yeah, so then Warner Brothers was over here talking about how, you know, Zack Snyder cannot be affiliated with Geeks and Gamers because they're a hate group. You know, it'd be bad PR.
What?
Yeah. So then in the charity website, it had the Geeks and Gamers logo next to Zack Snyder's name. And so then but by the time it started, they didn't take the logo down. And it was agreed, I think, that since they can't have the logo, their thumbnail for the YouTube video, instead of it being the Geeks and Gamers logo, it was a painting of the Justice League. And
Okay.
yeah, signed and everything. But yeah, so Zack Snyder went ahead and said, we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned. Because again, there was that debate whether fucking can he not be associated with them, and all of that. And so then the guy said, in light of recent events, there's no room for hate. You know, as the father of Asian children, you know, blah blah. There's no room for hate because you know, again, his daughter and everything. And so then. Yeah. So he went ahead and said,
yeah, please.
Look, I was looking through my notes. No, because
at
first he was like, okay, as far as I'm concerned, we're not affiliated, we're not associated with Geeks and Gamers.
We get it. He's not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers. Jesus Christ, move on. Say something else. I'm over it. Frank, this has been another episode.
Okay.
Are we done?
Sure, we're done.
Are we done?
Sure.
Are you done?
No, yeah, we're done.
No, we're not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you want to be done. We're done. That's it.
All right. So he's not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers. What does that mean for anything? What is this change? Is this gotten people pissed off with him? What's the result of this?
The people are saying that Zack Snyder went on the live stream to denounce Geeks and Gamers. He went on to call them out that they're a hate group, when that's really not what he said at all. He said, in light of recent events, okay, there's no room for hate. If Justice League teaches us anything, it's to come together. And, you know, I'm the father of Asian kids. So, you know, there's no room for hate. And they took that as him telling Geeks and Gamers, you guys are a fucking hate group. You shouldn't be hating on people. So, yeah, that was it. That's it. Oh, and in case you want to know, they raised $75,000 for suicide prevention, and then they did another charity event with where they raised $44,000 for human trafficking awareness. And then and then Jeremy, the head of Geeks and Gamers, replied to that on a later video saying it was a very poorly worded PR statement, and then he wanted to virtue signal, which is what got everyone to think that, yeah, he was saying that Geeks and Gamers are a hate group, and, you know, hating is bad.
Are they a hate group, Frank?
No, they're not. They're just open about what they like and don't like. That's it. Because Hollywood is saying you should like fucking Star Wars, what Kathleen Kennedy's doing to Star Wars, because
like it all.
Yeah, inclusivity and fucking girl power and love the gays. And it's like, no, if it's not a good movie, it's not a good movie.
Yeah, that's it. Like, whatever happened to predictability? The
Mhm.
new man, the paper boy, the evening TV.
Yeah.
Do you know the reference? No?
Yeah.
Come on, give me the name.
It's
Ah, come
I want
on.
to say Step by Step, but I'm like, no, it's Family Matters.
No, I don't think it's either one of those.
No, it's isn't it Full House?
Full House, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny because those were the first two that were in my head too, and I knew it wasn't either one of those, but I couldn't stop thinking of them. And then you said them too. I was like, oh shit, maybe it is one of those. But no, it's Full House. Holy shit, that was funny. Anyway, this has been another episode. It's such a lazy episode, wasn't it?
Well, you don't want me to get through anything. I'm like, I don't even think I'm gonna tag Geeks and Gamers on this.
No, well, because we went through. Well, we talked a lot about our personal stuff going on lately in the first half of that. We're just hanging out, Frank. Just letting the people enjoy us. Don't you ever want to know about each other?
Sure.
That was not convincing.
It didn't have to be convincing.
Why not?
Because if you believe me, you believe me. If not, oh well.
Oh, okay. What do you want? Okay. Do you want to talk about anything else?
No, that's all I have for episode 1.
Episode 1. We're starting all over. Shit, I thought we were almost done.
Episode 1 of 2 of the week.
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, because we release every Monday and Wednesday for your oral pleasure. We've missed a couple of them here and there, but usually that's winter problems. I think have we missed anything? I think there was that one week we did the David Weiss episode that was a special we gave everybody time to listen to.
Yeah.
The whole week. So we've been pretty consistent, man. Pretty consistent. No matter how much I want to quit, you just don't fucking let me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you said you were going to give it 5 years, and then you said 3, and then and now you're saying by the time fucking year 2 is over,
as soon as we fix this Corona problem, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. When are we gonna fix Corona, Frank? It's up to me and you.
Apparently, not until
get to it.
Not until 2027. Apparently.
Really?
Apparently.
Is that the time where we expect to have everybody vaccinated, or what?
No, that's when that'll all go away. Because right now we got vaccines that are half-assed, and we got new strains going around. And the news is talking about the 4th wave of Rona. And I'm like, we haven't even gotten through the first one. Fuck you talking about, Willis?
Well, because there's the strains, right? Are the waves of different strains that are coming out?
Apparently.
So are we up to 5 different strains already? Shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's sketch, bro. I only caught one of them.
It's the government, man. I'm telling you.
You never caught it, right?
Nope.
You never tested positive for it anyway?
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never get sick.
I know. I'm one of the healthiest guys I know, and I'm one of the only people that I know that got it directly.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, this has been another episode of the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. I've been Anthony, along Mr.
Frank.
And remember, you can find us at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com with any comments, questions, concerns. At CI Podcast on Instagram, at Completely Inap with 1P on Twitter. And wherever you find us, you found us. Good job for you. You get a cookie, just not from us. Go find one. Or bake it yourself. And Frank, what do we tell the lovely listeners?
Be excellent to each other.
And try and find your happy people. Try to be better today than you were yesterday. And remember that he comes from his mama and he likes pie, especially when it's homemade. Say bye, Mr. Frank.
Bye, Mr. Frank.
Au revoir.
Okay. Ah, shit, it went away.